Howdy, howdy, hey. Welcome back to Trek on the Tube Live. Howdy, howdy, hey, is it working? Should be. This is live. Alright, we're back. We're back at it. We're back at it. I haven't done one of these in a while, especially not a solo one. Is the mic working? Is the video working? There are people watching. There are 3 of you. Tell me, is everything okay? How is everyone doing? How's everyone? Alright. Let me set this up. Okay, good. I haven't been live in a while on this channel, especially not alone. I used to do these live things alone quite a bit for a while there. Now I just do the conversations with the people over on the Starfleet Boy channel and everything. Thank you so much to the one person watching currently. Maybe more will join us later on. I'm just going to chat a little bit before we really get into this. For the people that'll watch this later on. So many people do. So many people watch these things after they come out. They don't have time to join us live, especially because I go live at random moments. So yeah. Today I wanted to do a bit of a YouTube thing. Trendy thing. I'm not really a YouTuber, not really a trendy YouTuber. I just do my little reviews and my little Star Trek explanations on one hand, but there's been a trend on YouTube over these past few years, or these past few months rather, which is tier lists. Tier lists where people rank things. They rank anything, be from like bottled water to fast food burgers to music, albums, anything. People do tier lists nowadays, and so I thought maybe what we could do, boom, is a tier list for the opening sequences, the title sequences for Star Trek. So I could get a few people mad here by giving the most, I suppose, like unloved tier list imaginable. Yeah, so the tier list, I wanted to do that, especially considering it's kind of become a trend now with the like this new era of Star Trek, for them to release the opening sequences, the title sequences, before the shows come out. Recently, we've had we got the Picard one, we got the Discovery one before the shows came out. I think we got the Lower Deck. No, I don't think we got the Lower Decks one, but we got the Prodigy one. Prodigy hasn't yet come out, but we already have the Prodigy title sequence. So I thought, hey, let's do a ranking, a tier list of all of those title sequences, the opening sequences, and this is going to take into consideration everything. I want to take into consideration as much the music as the visuals. I want to take into consideration the changes that they made as time went by. I guess the way it works well and sticks with each different show. Yeah, that's what I want to do. So let's jump in. Alright, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, do all of those wonderful things. You can become a patron and support this channel financially if you so desire. Boom. Alright, let's get into this. I know Robbie's going to watch this on replay. He's going to get so mad. He said he riots if I don't put Deep Space Nine in S tier. So the tiers that we have are S, A, B, C, D, E, F. So I went easy. All right, I went simple. I went A, B, C, D, E, and F, which are the normal rankings, and of course S tier is just like the best possible tier. It's the best possible ranking you can give, and we're gonna start off. We're gonna do them in order of release. I guess we'll start off with the old Star Trek, the original series. There we go. Star Trek, the original series. Where's he going? Alright, Star Trek, the originals. It's honestly, it's iconic. It's great. I have them all here, just so I can listen to them, just in case. But I kind of remember these. If you play... okay. If you place Faith of the Heart at lowest, I will send Xindi Probe at your place. No, I don't think Faith of the Heart is like lowest. We're not there yet, though. That's a long way down the line. Star Trek, the original series opening is, I think it's iconic. It's classic. For some reason, I feel like the end credit music, that theme is a little bit more famous. But Kirk's voice, the narration, even if they change the no man to no one later on, to make it more inclusive, and to better reflect, I suppose, the ideals of Star Trek and Starfleet and the Federation. It's an iconic little speech there that they have done countless times over and over again in all of the movies. It's got the whoosh with the ship just flying by and a whoosh whoosh, and it's great. It's great music. I feel like there's only a couple seasons or a couple episodes where this thing was blue. The one I remember is always being yellow. But anyway, they didn't make any major changes. I think, like nothing too drastic. Going from blue to yellow, that doesn't really bother me too much. It's not like a drastic change, like how they're changing, fonts in Discovery, or they even changed they gave the Next Generation one a bit more of a stylized thing. So I do think though that it has aged a bit. Well, as has the show, the original series. I don't think it's quite just like peak Star Trek opening sequence. I don't think it's that good. I do think though it is iconic. It is memorable. It is something very, very, very respected and beloved. And I think it will always, always remain a very good Star Trek opening title sequence. I'm going to put it at A. It's an A-list for me. I don't know what you guys think, but that's where I put it. All right. I hope Robbie's watching this. He's gonna get so mad. Arr. Okay. Next is the animated series. Yes, the show that is canon. People, don't worry about it. The animated series. If you haven't watched the show, first of all, I recommend it. You'll probably know that I love it. But the opening sequence isn't that much to get excited over. In the sense that it's kind of like a variant. It's just a variant, really, on the original series opening sequence. It's an animated form, but they didn't go crazy with like what they could have done. They could have done it way more crazy. What they did is they just basically reanimated what the original series theme was, which is disappointing. TAS has a nice jazzy funk to it. I agree that the visuals aren't too exciting. It does have a jazzy funk to it. They tried to plate up the fun of it, I think. Hi Robbie, by the way. Thank you for joining us. I was just saying you might get mad at my Deep Space Nine, but anyway, ranking later on. But yeah, no, I feel like, I mean, it definitely does sound more 70s than like the original series opening was. But it's not as good. It's not as good. It seems a bit recycled to me, which hurts me because I think that the animated series is, in much respect, it's almost better than the original series, because the animated series delivers like original series episodes, but it gets over that hurdle of the original series 50-minute format, which for new, like, I suppose modern audiences and new fans, that can be pretty violent to sit through like 50 minutes of just one A plot. Animated series gets rid of that. The solution is 23 minutes, condense it. It's all streamlined. Talking of streamlined, I have the StreamYard logo up in the corner there. It's just in case a friend, Starfleet Boy, Boat Wreck, Text Trek, anyone wants to join. I've got the logo up there. Because I'm using StreamYard. And I can't invite people if I'm just on the YouTube streamer, so yeah. Alright, I don't think it's as good. I think they kind of dropped the ball on that one. Yeah, it's not as wonderful, and also I know that they rebranded the original series and the animated series as the original series and the animated series later on, but I am not a fan of the fact that the actual title card doesn't have the animated series written on it. That bugs me for some reason. But rather, it has this big ass. Where is it? It's got this big ass created by Gene Roddenberry thing on it, like on the card. Created by Gene Roddenberry, and I got no problem with Star Trek being created by Gene Roddenberry. I just think it's a bit big on the title card itself, so that's a bit disappointing. You know what? Oh no, those are my Lower Decks pictures. Where are we? We're here. Boom. All right. I think it's not quite a B because it's not quite under the original series. I would put this thing as a C. It's a C tier for me. I don't know what you guys think. I'll drop a link to this tier list that I created here up in the tier maker. I'll drop a link to it in the description once the video is done, so that you guys can go make your own. Post them on the social medias. See how many people get angry at you. All right. We now move on to a different era in Star Trek, a completely new era in Star Trek. The Next Generation. Years have gone by. There's been like a small Star Trek drought. There's also been movies, failed and cancelled projects, and things that never got off the ground. We're here with Star Trek The Next Generation. Gene Roddenberry thinks that we have to move completely on into like a new direction. Daniel, how you doing? Hi, Chicago. Hello to everyone in Chicago, and hello to you. Thank you for joining us. I've already ranked the original series and the animated series. I put the original series at A, the animated series at C, and now we're talking about The Next Generation, which I think is I think it's an overrated theme, like as an opening statement about it, I guess. I think a lot of people love it, and they will always refer back to it, but that's simply because like The Next Generation was such a big deal back in the 90s. That it's kind of stuck with so many people, but I'm not, and also like the music is really, really good. That's a thing. The music is really, really good. It's really, really iconic on this Next Generation opening sequence. But you agree the animated series would be C tier. It's okay, not top level, but entertaining. Yeah, it's a more entertaining. Robbie said it's a jazzy, funked up version of like the original series one. Yeah. The problem is with the Next Generation theme is it originally wasn't a Next Generation theme, right? It didn't come from the Next Generation. They recycled the song. They didn't compose and write their own theme. Which is disappointing. There's also this one moment, I don't have it here, and I don't think it's on this one here because they've got the correct title card. Oh no, they don't. I don't like this. I don't like this thing. This dynamic, I don't know what it is that they tried to do to the font here. I find that hideous. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I don't like that one. It's great music though. Even if they stole it, well, they didn't steal it. They just reused it, recycled it. It is good though. It's an iconic opening sequence. I think what saves it a lot is Sir Patrick Stewart's, I guess, rendition of the No One Has Gone Before. Space, the Final Frontier. Sid and Captain Picard's voice. Sir Patrick Stewart's voice is wonderful to listen to. It's in many respects I would actually think kind of better than Kirk's. Like you get used to Kirk's, but Picard has this voice. Sir Patrick Stewart has a voice that just carries that iconic speech, and also like even if they recycled it, music wise, and even if they recycled the idea of just the ship flying by, and it almost feels like a reboot or a remake. Not original, but a theme song does not necessarily always dictate the quality of the show. No, it doesn't. It doesn't always dictate the quality of the show, but I do feel like it should reflect how the show or what the show is going to be like, or how it's going to feel. And so I guess that is in theme, because like the Next Generation did jack a lot of visuals from the movies and stuff, like star bases and shit, and ideas. It jacked a lot of ideas from the original series. So technically speaking, it's in theme. The Next Generation is in theme. It's jacking its ideas from the original series and its themes from the movies. So that's very, very, I guess, apropos. Hi, Toddy. Hi, and good afternoon. Hi, Braxton. How you doing? I've already ranked a couple. I've already ranked the original series 1 at A, the animated series 1 at C. You might disagree, but that's how it is. It is kind of a meta thing because Phase 2 was about to be like Next Generation, but it became the motion picture. And early Next Generation took some scripts and ideas from Phase 2. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of like recycling going on in that era of Star Trek. I just wanted to show you guys something if I can find it. This is the one thing that really gets me with... Where is it? This. See this? This is New Zealand. So, I mean, we can go in the old Google here, because they didn't even try. They didn't even try and modify it. They just left it as it is. See, there it is. No, where's... Oh, there it is. Good old Aotearoa. It's right here. Boom. They didn't even try to change it. They just stuck it in the planet. And considering I'm from New Zealand, that means a lot to me. I like having New Zealand in the opening sequence of one of the most popular shows of the 90s, or at least one of the most popular science fiction ones. So yeah, that's definitely a plus and a win. I do think the Next Generation is some A tier shit though. It's really good. It's really good. Braxton says, I'm well, jumping on late because my boss was chatty. Lol, I'm still at work. God damn it. What are you doing? You're supposed to be working, Braxton. You're at work. You're supposed to be working. No, it's fine. Come join us. I could listen to Sir Patrick Stewart's voice all day. When I saw him perform at the Royal Shakespearean Company, it was amazing, and to hear his voice reverberate right there in the theater was great. Oh yeah, for sure. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Here we move on to I think the most controversial of my of my takes, the hottest of my takes, as Starfleet Boy would say. Deep Space Nine. Here we go. Deep Space Nine is an interesting one. There are two versions to it. The second has, I think it started at like season 6 or something. I forget what it starts in. But some people can't hear them, but they've got little bells in the background. I don't like those bells. I think they're shite. And I think it makes the theme sound too Christmassy. But overall, I don't think that the Deep Space Nine title sequence, the Deep Space Nine opening, is as good as the show becomes. I think that the Deep Space Nine theme in a lot of I don't know, it reflects what season 1 of Deep Space Nine was, and to some certain degree season 2, where the show was really slow. It was trying to find its footing. It wasn't innovating that much, apart from the fact that it was happening on a station. It wasn't as daring, it wasn't as bold as it would grow into, as it would become. And I feel like if Deep Space Nine had just been bold and changed up that title sequence completely, and not just the music, they'd changed it, or really, enhanced it as the seasons went by, I think that would have really helped it, because Deep Space Nine isn't just about the space station. It's about the beauty of having so many different characters and ships and things that can happen or come to this space station, and that's not really reflected in the opening theme. I find we got this go by, the little comet opening thing, and then it's just a million different shots of Deep Space Nine itself. It's and then it ends with the wormhole. There's a bit of a wormhole there, but other than that, it's just Deep Space Nine and Deep Space Nine and Deep Space Nine from every angle, and the music itself, I think, is. I mean, the music itself isn't the best. I think it's not the. It is somber, and I suppose that fits the occupation, war, themes that the show had going on. I just don't think it's that good. I think it's that good. Does it get more props than like the animated series opening? I think it should, because it at least innovated. They went new. They took the title card. Of course, they recycled the font, but recycling is a thing in the old Star Trek. But yeah, I think Deep Space Nine is, and it ain't no F. It's not a terrible, dreadful thing, but it ain't no S. It's not peak Star Trek opening sequence. But I don't think it's quite an A. I don't think it's quite up there with the classics, and I don't think people remember it so much. I think it's a B. That's where I'd put it. I'd put it at a big old B. What's going on? When Deep Space Nine originally aired as a teenager, I was a teenager at the time, I couldn't get it. When it later came out on DVD, I watched it again. I was blown away by the multi-layered storytelling, A-tier stuff. Yeah, no, the show. I agree. The show is some like quality show, right? But I don't agree with the title sequence. I think the opening, the opening isn't. It doesn't live up to what the show is. That's the problem. It doesn't fully reflect what the show is going to be. You don't get that much out of it. The show is more than what the title sequence is. Which is not what I would say about Voyager. Here we go. We're talking about Voyager, people. Oh my goodness. Star Trek Voyager. Now, I might be biased on this one, because, I'm the biggest fan of Voyager. Like, I watched Voyager as a kid, grew up on Voyager, as much as the Next Generation, if not more. So I might be biased, but I think that Voyager it's some quality Star Trek opening. It's got everything. It's got these beautiful visuals. Some that make more sense than others, the ship flying through this. That can work. The ship going through this. That's amazing. There's this other one where they had calculated the size of this planet based on the reflection of the ship in the rings. The planet's very small, but that's fine. It's an opening sequence. My favorite trick. Voyager is one of my favorites. Oh, I just realized this was because title sequence. My bad. I thought you were talking about the merits of the shows themselves. No, not the merits of the shows themselves. No, the ranking would be very different. And I couldn't put Prodigy in there. We haven't seen Prodigy yet. We haven't even seen a single episode of Prodigy. We haven't finished Picard, Discovery, and Lower Decks, but we haven't even seen a single episode of Prodigy. But we do have the opening sequence. I think Voyager, apart from maybe this little error that people point out that the planet would be too small, I think Voyager is some quality stuff, because I think the music is one of the most outstanding pieces of title sequence musics, themes ever composed of any show. I think the visuals reflect exactly what the show is. It's all about these varying spatial anomalies. It's about these beautiful visuals, and it's also about a ship going. It's going somewhere. It's got a special direction. Also, they got that touch with the ship flying by the camera, just like in the Next Generation. So they got that callback. They're not jacking the idea because they didn't use it for the whole thing. They just called back to it. And then at the end, of course, we get this wonderful thing. The sun coming out from behind the planet as the horns just blow you away, and then our little warp away, accompanied by the elevating nacelles. Well, everyone seems to like it. I think that Voyager's opening sequence is just some fantastic stuff, and I think that I think it's better than A. I think it's better than A. I think it's an S tier. I think it is some S tier Star Trek opening. I said it. I said it. The show, in the opinion of many, might not live up to the S tier ranking of the opening sequence, but it is a very different thing if the show doesn't live up to the opening sequence than if the opening sequence doesn't live up to the show when we're ranking the opening sequences. If that makes sense. I use Voyager for the song, the Voyager theme song for my Animal Crossing tune. I think it's great. I think it's just fantastic. And you know, I wouldn't skip it for the world. I don't skip the Voyager one. I just let it roll. I listen to it all the way through. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Star Trek Enterprise, people. We now move on to the controversial, the scandalous Star Trek Enterprise theme song. Not the end credit theme, which is what they played at Star Trek Day 2021. How disappointing. Everyone was like, oh my god, they're going to play. Someone's going to sing. You got singers out there on stage. Anybody singing Faith of the Heart? No one's singing it. Faith of the Heart. It's a different one. So here's the thing. I think it's great. I really do. I think that the Star Trek Enterprise... You'll notice that I didn't use the title card here from season 1 and 2. I wanted to put the Star Trek on it, as I did for Discovery. I used the second title card from the 3rd season with the correct, fonts and everything. I have to mute it every time. I'm sorry. So many people. It's a love it or hate it kind of thing, isn't it? With Enterprise, it really is. Here's the thing, though. It's a pop song, I guess, to some certain extent, or like a pop rock. Is it? It was a song that pre-existed or predated Enterprise itself, so it loses points for that. I like the creativity and the originality of actually coming up with your own song. Deep Space Nine got points for that. The original series Voyager, they all get points for that. Next Generation lost a little bit because it was recycling something from older Trek. The animated series lost because it's points for that because it was recycling the original series theme. This was an existing song, even if they cut it down and edited it somewhat to make it fit the theme. But I feel like the lyrics and the visuals complement each other in a way that not many, I think, songs, actual songs, not themes, not orchestral themes, like not many songs could have accomplished. I think that if you weren't going to go in this direction and actually use a song, I think that this is a pretty good win. And I know it's controversial to say that, but I think the second version of it, I'm not too fan. They did the same thing with the animated series, and they've got like a second version for like seasons 2 and 3 or something. They jazzed up the theme a bit or whatever. They made it a bit more, I don't know, a bit more funky. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I do think though that it's a great opening sequence as such, and I think that not only is it a great opening sequence, I also think it reflects what the show tries to do very, very well. Sometimes the show doesn't quite live up to I think certain standards that Trekkies had created in their minds. Like sometimes Enterprise doesn't quite get there as a show, but it's all about being the first ship, first captain, first Enterprise. It's the first voyage out there, and it's all about the struggle that humans went through, and other species as well that went through when creating that first warp drive, etc. And I think that I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good, and I'm not gonna give it S tier. I'm gonna take away points just because so many people hate it, you know? So many people hate it so much I can't give it S. It wouldn't be fair. It would be too meme. It would be too meme of me. But it's just as iconic, if not more. I mean, it's more iconic than the Voyager one. It's more talked about. It's more discussed than the Next Generation or any other theme. So I think that's a win. You know, I think it's an A. I really do. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. Angela's gonna get mad at me, but hey, look. People talk about it all the time. It's the only theme with a challenge on Twitter. It's got the Enterprise challenge. They picked Faith of the Heart because Shatner's Rocket Man was too strong. They could have had Shatner come back and sing that, you know? If they wanted to change it for season 3 and 4, they should have had like the cast sing it. The cast of Enterprise. Everyone comes in, sings it. Faith of the Heart. That could have been good. Just have like everyone singing Faith of the Heart. I don't know how good they can all sing. At least one of them can carry a tune. Someone's got to carry a tune. In the whole cast, I'm sure of it. Which brings us to the eternally changing Star Trek Discovery theme. Now, it changes quite a bit. And some things are good and some things are bad in the changes. Sometimes they change the visuals to better suit like the theme of the season. Sometimes they change the font, but sometimes they forget to change certain aspects of the font or certain aspects of the visuals because I don't know, they're not paying too much attention. But it reflects the show. That's what the show does. Every season of Discovery is so different, and they make changes. And some changes they do on purpose, and some changes they seem to kind of like mess up on and screw up with. And I think that the opening sequence, the title sequence there, kind of reflects that. It really does. It reflects that very well. Musically, musically, I think it's all right. It's got a bit of a slow build up, and I think we all got very used to the horns. It's when it really gets going that it's more interesting. Sadly, though, I think that the theme is too hopeful for what the show ends up being. Thematically, I think that Discovery tries to be a very hopeful show, a very like positively oriented and driven show, but I think it's a lot more talk than it is, I guess, walk. They don't they talk too much. They don't actually do it. The show isn't hopeful enough. It's all bleak and dark, even if they try to be hopeful. The opening, however, it's a really hopeful, kind of like engaging, encouraging theme. And so in that respect, it doesn't really suit or match the show itself. Oh no. And then, I suppose my biggest gripe is just the general aesthetics of the visuals. I think they're gorgeous. I think they're amazing. I think they're so good, but I don't think that they have anything to do with the show itself. I'm sorry. I know that now and then, look, this is season 2, so we had the Red Angel plot. They got the Red Angel. I know that here that we got Spock coming in season 2, so they put the Vulcan Idic symbol with the little live long and prosper sign. But those kind of changes, I guess they're just like visual tie-ins, thematic tie-ins to what the show is going to do in that season. But the actual overall aesthetics, the overall visual design of the kind of blueprint aspect to it, the sketches kind of thing, it kind of looks like sketch paper and they're sketching over it. That's got nothing to do with anything. There's a big eye. Everyone's speculating about what this eye is going to be and what everything is going to be. this show, well, this opening sequence and the visual style that it is reflects the era in which it came out, where Game of Thrones was winning Emmys for its, it was winning awards for its opening sequences, and so everyone was trying to be the most creative. You got like these daredevils, you know what I mean? These Westworlds. They're all putting out these absolutely mind-bogglingly beautiful and visually different opening sequences, and I think that Discovery was kind of trying to do something in the same vein. It's not quite Westworld, it's not quite Daredevil, it's not quite Game of Thrones. It's its own thing. It's really trying to be something very unique and something very trendy almost. But they didn't. I feel like they didn't exactly know what kind of show they were making at that point. Which is true. They didn't know what they were making too much at that point. Brian Fuller had an idea. His two subordinates there. What is it? Aaron Hobbits and oh goodness. Oh, I forget the name. Aaron Hobbits and Aaron. Damn it. Okay, well you guys know what I mean. Rick Berman, Aaron. No, it's not Rick Berman. Sorry, it's what's he called? It wasn't Rick Berman. Brian Fuller. What am I doing? Brian Fuller, Aaron Hobbits, and Gretchen J. Berg. I think it is. Those were the ones. Yeah, wait. Aaron Hobbits and Gretchen J. Berg. They, there was all of that transition period before Kurtzman came along and really took the reins and took over. That makes it a bit worse. Wait, that makes it a bit more sense if they didn't really know how. Yeah, half as it should. Yeah, exactly. I guess it does make a bit more sense if they didn't have like a set direction for the show. But ultimately, it creates this this title sequence that doesn't really reflect what the show is or how the show could have been. And the big change that they did, is here. They put the Star Trek Discovery logo, and they did the rebranding for the Star Trek, and then they rebranded the Discovery logo, and they put that in the second version of the title card in season 3. But they should have just changed it. They should have just gone in a completely different direction. I think, like, considering the show was like such a leap in time, and they just had to change everything, they could have almost, because it was like every season was basically a soft reboot, and season 3 was the hardest of the soft reboots. So yeah, they could have. So yeah, I think it's not the best. I think it sticks with me now. I do like the music though. I do like the music. I will say it builds up into something interesting. There's no recycling about it, and it's a very creative idea. I'll give you that. I'll give them that. So I think it's a B. I think it's creative. I think it came out at a time where there was like a real challenge and a real hype about making amazing opening sequences. I just don't think it quite reflects what the show is. And yeah, it's also because they didn't really know what the show was going to be. They were struggling through it. They're like, yo, Brian Fuller, fired, creative differences, Aaron Hobbits, Gretchen J. Berg, fired. Oh no. So yeah, they didn't really know. And then we move on to the one and only. Is Starfleet Boy around? No, he's not here. Is he watching? He isn't. He would have He would have told me already. He would have tweeted at me directly. Not even commented. He'll watch this on the replay. I'll tell him the results on the replay. He'll get real mad. Star Trek Picard. The opening sequence for Star Trek Picard, I don't even have it open. I completely forgot about it, or I closed it without doing it on purpose. Alright, wait, let's open a new YouTube here. Star Trek Picard. Title sequence. There we go. So I hated it when it came out. Alright, let's just make that very clear. I really detested it when it came out. I didn't quite understand what they were trying to do, musically speaking. And I understand that it's a more kind of reflective, slow. Um, I don't know that. Yeah, they're trying to reflect back on the past of Picard and trying to do that kind of stuff, and they're trying to show that in the theme. And there are elements in the theme that they took from. So they didn't jack, they didn't steal anything. They just reused. It's not recycling to me. It's the, harkening back to famous episodes of the Next Generation. They've got that little flute in there somewhere. But I think it's just not. It's not that good. Musically speaking, I think it's not that good. I think it doesn't quite elevate itself enough. There's a lot of nice subtle touches, but I think that if you make something too subtle, it doesn't, I suppose, gain enough traction. It doesn't elevate itself quite enough, so it stays too subtle throughout. Hyped, hello. Hello to you, good sir. Thank you for joining us. I've already got this far in the tier list. You might disagree with me, but they're all very well justified. These are the final official results that everyone's going to have to adhere to and respect and follow in the future of Star Trek. I'm kidding. This is my opinion. You probably have different ones. Maybe they'll redo it for next season. I feel like maybe that's a possibility. He'd be appalled by your thoughts on Picard. It's not on Picard itself. It's on the title sequence. Though I do think you're right. He would be appalled at my thoughts about the title sequence. I think that visually speaking, I think it's stronger visually than it is musically. So I'm not a big fan of the music, but I think that visually speaking, it makes a lot of sense, especially once you've seen the end of the season. Because this here represents as much all of like the little strands of DNA or the technological bits that make up, I suppose, as much humans or any kind of biological being, but they're clearly reflecting and talking about like the androids here, but it's also very tentacle-like in the way it grows, and that I think was done on purpose to harken like to reference the big alien cybernetic squid that attacks or that tries to come through the portal at the end of the season. So I think they're trying to do that. Also, we have eyes, which I suppose are the window into the soul. We've got the destruction of a planet here. And the reconstruction of Picard, like the destruction of Romulus is a big thing in this story, and the reconstruction and the reconnecting of elements that made up the Captain Picard of the Jean-Luc that we once knew is part of is a big part of the show. There's the Borg cube and there's the vineyard, and so I think visually speaking, there's a lot of good things going on in this. Dear goodness, stop while you're opening full screen. I think that I'd put them in the same places. Oh, you would have put them in the same places? Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, no, so I think Picard does a lot of good things visually. I just don't think that the theme, this theme song, the orchestral theme, follows it up quite a bit. I think they should have made... it is still science fiction. Like, if this theme would have worked very well if the show had been those 3 first episodes, the whole run, or at least the whole first season, right? The entire show takes place on Earth. We're dealing with like external political strife, but from a grounded perspective. We're not actually going into space, battling crazy space pirates and Borg cubes, and there's not giant flowers attacking ships falling from the sky. Sorry, I can't hear you, but you want me to get the views work meeting. Thank you, Sahel. Thank you. Can I do a heart? Can you see my heart if I do a heart? Can you see that? I'm on Picard. I'm on the Picard. Look. Anyway, he's gonna get mad. No, I think it's just not that good. I really don't think it's that. And you know what hurts me the most is what hurts me the most, and this is the one thing I hope they can change in season 2. What hurts me the most is this one here, that Star Trek logo. They jacked the friggin', they've got like a branding going on. They've got a coherent, consistent branding going on for all of Star Trek now. They've got the Lower Decks one and the Prodigy one, and even the Discovery one changed for its most recent season, but they still have this Star Trek Discovery logo on the Picard one. It's so distinctively Discovery too, this font. And I wonder what it's doing here. So as it stands, I don't know. I think oh goodness, I can't give it that low because then my boy Starfleet boy is gonna get so mad at me. What do we think? I can't give it a C. Is it a B or is it a C? Can we put it in between? We can't put it in between, can we? It has to be one or the other. There ain't no in betweens in this. I don't think it's a C. It's not that bad though. It's not that bad because it does have some beautiful kind of like callbacks to yes, I don't like that. I don't like that. Angela's getting mad. I don't like that. Boo. Oh, he's gonna get so mad. If I do this, yeah, okay, alright, I've been swayed. I was gonna put it at C. If this were me, I would put it at C. The only reason why I want to put it at B is just so that I don't have to deal with Starfleet Boy's anger. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll put it at C, but I'll call it a C+. It's pending B, depending on how they deal with Season 2. Because these could all change, like Discovery hasn't finished its run, Picard, Lower Decks, Prodigy, these shows haven't finished their run. So in the same way that Deep Space Nine's final season's opening sequences, I think, diminish the overall rating, it takes it down. It could have been an A, but it rakes it down a tier. Maybe that Picard will get that bump. Oh, you meant the font. I don't like that. Yeah, well, I don't like the font either. Yeah, it's terrible. Well, it's not terrible. It's not a terrible font, and they tried to make it a little more. I think. I don't know, they tried to fine it out a bit. Strange New Worlds logo is cool. I don't think that's the final logo, though. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't think it's a final logo, though. I think they're going to work on something a little more clever, a little more distinct. But yeah, this here is distinctly Discovery, and it's an eyesore to have it on Picard. I would like Picard to have its own identity. But I do think that a consistent, coherent branding with the Star Trek logo makes sense. Because Star Trek is the franchise. On to Lower Decks. Lower Decks. I mean, Lower Decks, this is no secret. I love the show. I think it's an amazing show. It's an homage to all of the 90s Trek and all Trek that came before it. It's even paying its respects to Discovery in certain ways. Well, it can't to Picard because Picard's taking place after Lower Decks. They have to keep that in mind. But I think Lower Decks is probably one of the strongest title sequences out there. Thematically speaking, it's amazing. I think like the music, the music I think is absolutely amazing. It's engaging. It's bold. It's about exploration. Memory Alpha also has a version of the Picard logo with the normal font, but it may be an unofficial one. I think it is. Do you have a link? Oh, you can't send links on this, can you? Okay, wait a minute. Star Trek Picard. How am I going to find it? What do I have to look for? We interrupt this Lower Decks discussion to talk about Picard. I absolutely love everything about Lower Decks. Oh, well, you and me. Okay, wait, here we go. Oh, yeah, okay. No, you know what that's from? Those are from the novels. I think the Star Trek Picard novels. Aha, you see? See, the novels. And this was the first one that came out, I think. This was the first Star Trek novel, Picard novel that came out. It's got that Star Trek branding there, see? Bloody picture's too small. See? Hey there, my lovely people. Hello there, Mr. Damien, the Irish Trekkie. How you doing? I haven't heard your voice in so long. I need to click on more of your videos. That's the problem. I'm sorry. You should come back and do a Trek chat sometime. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me. Amazon Prime is the same logo too. Okay, so maybe they're gonna do a bit of rebranding for Picard. All right, okay. We'll keep it at a C for the moment, but it's a pending B. It's like a C plus pending maybe B if they actually apply the rebranding to season 2. We'll see how that goes. Lower Decks. I think Lower Decks is a great success. So first of all, I think the music is engaging. It really feels like a Star Trek theme, and it doesn't just feel like it's thematically kind of sticking to what the show is. It also works as like a science fiction show. You immediately know that you're gonna go out there, you're gonna explore, you're going on a voyage. And speaking of voyage, I think that the Lower Decks theme is really like an homage and a new take on the Voyager theme. I think they were inspired. Yes, they were inspired by Star Trek: The Next Generation with their little font here and the coloring and everything. But I think they were inspired visually by Voyager, because they're going by these spatial anomalies, they're going by these space battles, etc. But also, they don't just have amazing looking things. They have jokes. They've got the Beast, the whatever the hell that shit is, that's stuck to the ship and suckling on it, just like they did in the Next Generation. In one of those episodes of the Next Generation, they've got this spike of ice here that for some reason they crash into because they're a bunch of incompetent fools. I don't know. It's everything. It's got one thing that I personally love. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. Episode 6. The Spy Among Us. Comes out Thursday. Yes, Lower Decks opening is great. I can't find it. Oh, well, no, because this is season 1's. Yeah. Sorry. Well, season 1's opening sequence has like this kind of quality to it, but then season 2 is even better. And they apply changes not so much in the music or like how it is, but they I'm sorry, how it is. That doesn't mean anything. They didn't apply changes in what's happening so much as in like they upgraded the quality of the visuals. So like, God, it looks so good. That Borg cube is like hyper defined in the second season. The animation is amazing. Yeah, the space leech, and I think this logo here. Oh, it looks amazing. That shine, once they put that shine to it, I don't know. I think it's really, really, really good. And season 2 is even better. Season 1 is amazing. I think that Voyager can only be equaled by something that respects it, loves it, and pays homage to it so much. Lower Decks. I think it's an S tier opening sequence. Finally some love for the animated shows. I think it's amazing title sequence. I really do. I was blown away by it when I first saw it. Just Lower Decks has a great sequence, the adventure of exploration like Voyager, but with a little mix of mistakes and collisions, etc. Well sequenced and scored. Yeah, exactly. And it represents the show so well. We're talking about how the Discovery title sequence doesn't quite know what it wants to, or it knows exactly what it wants to be, but that doesn't represent what the show is, because the show didn't know what to be. We're talking about Deep Space Nine's title sequence that in essence doesn't really represent how great the show becomes. Well, Lower Decks' title sequence, just like Voyager's, completely, fully represents and encompasses what the show is and how the show came out. I love when the Cerritos flies in amongst the battle between the Borg and the Romulans. The Cerritos takes a couple hits, turns around and flies away. It's like, yeah, this isn't my battle. This isn't my battle. The only thing, the only little complaint, I guess, I could have, or a nitpick that I could have for the Lower Decks title sequence would be pack lids. They added, I think, a few pack lid ships in the Borg battle in Season 2, but I think that if the pack lids are going to start being set up as the villains or the overarching enemies for Lower Decks, I think that maybe somehow we could add pack lids as they go along. But if they just add more and more pack lid elements as it goes along, that could be fine with me. Anyone else buying the Lower Deck shirts from Titmouse? I wanted to. There's a story about that. Starfleet Boy has been buying them all. He bought the pack for Season 1, he bought the pack for Season 2, he's receiving them, and I wanted to do that, except that for some reason, shipping to Canada was so expensive, or shipping to where I am in Canada was so expensive that it would have cost me like 400 Canadian dollars or something. Or it was like 300 Canadian dollars or something for, I think it was 400 for like 10 shirts there. And, you know, that's way too much money. But I did get the official Star Trek Lower Decks shirt, which is somewhere in Starfleet Boy's house, awaiting shipment. He's going to send it over eventually. Yeah, the Romans got this one. Yeah, that's the thing. If it were a Pac-led fight, maybe the Cerritos would get into it. You know, they'd be like, okay, we can fight some Pac-leds. It's a Borg fight, and it's a Romulan fight. You know, nah. The Cerritos, they're too small. You know, they're not going to go into that. They're not going to go into that. In my mind, I headcanon that as like a follow-up to the destroyed Romulan stations at the end of, what was it, season 1 or season 2 of season 2 maybe of Next Generation. But of course, the opening sequences are not canon. Like, the events that happen in the opening sequences are not canon, if that makes sense. Because Voyager never went by that planet. You know what I mean? Anyway. That, maybe. I think so. That's how I see it. Which leads us on to the final... There's nothing if, by the way. Spoilers, nothing was ever going to be if. You know, or E, or D. There ain't ever any... I've never seen a completely failed Star Trek title sequence. I have yet to see that. Fingers crossed it'll never happen. I'm pretty sure it'll never happen. There's too much love being invested into Star Trek for that to ever happen. But anyway, Prodigy. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but it is available on the YouTubes. I don't know if it's like an official... I don't think it's an official upload here, but it probably is their unofficial upload somewhere on the StarTrek.com website if you guys want to watch it officially. But the opening sequence has been revealed, and I want to talk about the end first. I don't think this is the title card, the final title card. I think they're going to clean it up, or at least I hope. I hope they're going to clean it up. I think and I hope that they're going to take out the characters from the logo, because as much as I like seeing them, I guess, in the promotional pictures, I think they'll take them out. I don't think I don't think it's very tasteful for the actual show itself. And I also think they're going to get rid of the Nickelodeon logo. Like, I understand that for, like, the branding and the promotion of it, they've got that big Nickelodeon sign up there. But I think they'll take it away for the actual show. That's what I think. I only just noticed the characters. I think the Discovery and Picard title sequences ended up like the arty Netflix titles that trended following shows The Crown, Cool, Super Not Changing. Yes, Irish Tricky. So I haven't seen The Crown, but I've seen the title sequence because wife on the tube watches it. But I was likening the Picard and Discovery ones. Well, Discovery, I was likening it to Daredevil and Westworld. You know, there was a trend when Game of Thrones was winning awards, and then Lower Decks just went full Star Trek. It's the most Star Trek of all, funnily. Anyway, Prodigy. I think they'll get rid of the Nickelodeon, or at least I hope. I think they'll get rid of the characters in there, at least I hope. And I don't think we need the Delta in the back, but that's not something that I really care about. It's fine. If it's there, it's there. If it's not there, it's there. It might add a little touch, speaking. But this here is pretty good. The font itself that they've chosen is pretty good. It's dynamic. I'm all for Prodigy. I am too. I think it's going to be really cool, and I can't wait to watch it with baby on the tube, toddler on the tube. Toddler's now, 3. So, if she likes the show, then the show's a success. And I will say one thing. The only Star Trek theme that baby on the tube does not watch, the only opening sequence, is Picard. She will watch all of the others. She will sit there and watch straight through Voyager. When the episode begins, she leaves. Discovery, all of them. She'll watch it, and she won't watch the episode, but she will not watch Picard. She's like, not interested, she leaves. So if, I think we should make a purposefully awful Star Trek opening sequence just to have a laugh. Yeah, someone should do that. They should do, like Strange New Worlds. They should release a fake trailer or like a fake opening sequence for Strange New Worlds just to get everyone talking about the show, but it's like a garbage one. It's like all of the instruments are out of tune. No one's playing quite right. The visuals are wonky. Nothing looks good, and everyone starts talking about it. And then they release the real one. Like, this is the opening sequence, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, mind blown! This is so good." Us Europeans have to wait till next year for Prodigy, as they're saving it for the international release of Paramount Plus. Oh, that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. You know, there was a whole thing happening with Lower Decks too. I'll tell you what. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I don't spoil things. I do non-spoiler first thought, initial reaction videos, and then I drop sometimes, very rarely, a few cryptic thoughts about how the new shows are going. But before really jumping into before assuming that everyone's seen the show, like a Next Generation, I'll drop a spoiler whenever. But before getting to that point with these new shows, I do wait a while and I make sure it's come out everywhere and everyone's had time to see it. So that's me. Be very careful on the Twitters though. Try to mute those hashtags just in case. But anyway, the opening sequence of Star Trek Prodigy, I kid you not, almost brought tears to my eyes. I think the music is blasting in my ears. Yeah. Toddy is a spoiler bully. You are listening. You are. You said I was on mute. I'm not. How dare you? I am a spoiler bully. I push people around. I push the people that spoil. Saying spoilers on the internet is a form of gatekeeping. Maybe. I don't know. I'm making shit up. Cancel that sentence. Maybe. If it makes sense, keep it. If it doesn't, don't. Gotta fly. Past my bedtime. Haha. Be a good Trekkie friend. Yes. Be good, my Trekkie friends. Thank you so much for joining us, Damien. I will give it a high tier list. The Prodigy trailer. The Prodigy opening sequence. Don't worry. Rest assured. I almost cried. I didn't. I kept it together, but it was very emotional. I'm not the biggest fan of the animation style that they've got going, and I kind of feel like maybe it wasn't quite as polished or finished as they could have made it. No, sorry, I'm getting my thoughts muddled up. I think that the Star Trek Prodigy trailer isn't quite finished because some of the dialogue, some of the voice acting doesn't quite sync up with the movements of the mouths and everything. Am I the gatekeeper? I am not the gatekeeper. I hope not. I am the keeper of the gate of my channel, my personal channel. Though I keep it open for anyone that wants to come in now and then. No, I've never actually blocked anyone. I only block the spams and ads. Every time you release a video on YouTube, you get these ads and spam things. You get rid of them. Notify YouTube. Report them. Anyway, this is amazing. It's an engaging piece of music. It's as hopeful as it is adventurous. It's got these amazing, stunning visuals. It's got, to some certain degree, no characters in it. So I can't complain about the visual style that they went for, if there are kind of discrepancies in the animation later on. But all of the characters are still in it, because the ship is flying around all of these blobs. See, all of these blobs turn out to be Murph. And then this hand is Tellarite guy, or whatever his name is. And see, this is whatever this character's name is. I forget their name. I don't know their names. And then it ends with, I think maybe there's a bit too big of an emphasis on Janeway. I feel like she's not the main character of the show, but we haven't seen it yet. It's amazing. And then it really shows off the show as well. It feels very Kelvin, the ship. But it really shows off the ship, too. It shows off the ship. It's got that little reference to Voyager, where this time they go down. The cells go down instead of going up. So many Star Trek shows in this modern era are referencing Voyager. They're all like, yo, Voyager was the best show. Voyager's the one we love, yo. Anyway, it's amazing. I think it's a great, great title sequence. I think it's fantastic. Is it S tier, though? I don't think so, because there's one problem with it. It's hyper from the get-go. And the fact that it's hyper from the get-go, even if there are like change-ups, I think there's like maybe at least two kind of like interchanging uh, themes going on in the piece in the music, but I feel like it's 1,000% from beginning to end, and there's no build up, and I would have liked to see a little build up. Yeah, I've seen the Faith of the Heart version of Prodigy. I don't think that works too well. I'm not a fan of doing the theme swaps, frankly. But yeah, no, Prodigy I don't think quite gets the S, and I know I said it almost made me cry. But it's because it was truly beautiful. It was truly beautiful as it came out. I just don't think that the music uplifts it so much. So I'm going to put it at an A for the moment. But much like Picard is on C plus, pending perhaps a B. Prodigy is an A. I'd say plus, pending perhaps an S. Discovery could go up as well. These things could move around. Lower decks could go down if somehow they screw it up, which I like in like next season. I don't know how they could do that, but I'll just leave it rather than touch it. I think that these new shows can change. So maybe we can do one of these maybe we can do one of these once Strange New Worlds has come out. So we've got like Lower Decks season 3, maybe Picard season 4. Picard season 2, Discovery season 4. All these new shows once Strange New Worlds season 1 comes out. Maybe we can come back and revisit this tier list, and I can have Starfleet Boy on so he can scream at me and try to change my mind. Maybe he can do his own on his side, and I'll do my own, and we'll do like a comparative thing. We won't do a team up one. I don't think that's not good, because then it'll just be all over the place. I'm pretty happy with this. I think it's very good. I think it's pretty good. I'm very sorry. Voyager's correct. Alright, yeah, Voyager's correct. I think Lower Decks is correct. I think Voyager is like an S plus. I think Lower Decks might be a S minus. It's leaning more around the A, simply because, it does rely on the fact that the Voyager theme and the Next Generation theme exist originally, like title sequences exist. Prodigy is an A plus. Enterprise is given an A minus. Next Generation flat A. Original series flat A. Deep Space Nine B plus. Discovery flat B. I would love the Strange New World theme to be a variation on the First Contact theme. Oh, that could be interesting, actually. It says Boat Rick. That could be really cool, actually. That could be cool. I mean, the safest route to go would be to make the Strange New Worlds kind of like a variation on the... I guess on the original series theme. Was there a specific music or a theme? Oh, everyone's getting offended now. See, everyone's getting offended. I should have cut the stream early so that no one can get offended at my Deep Space Space Nine sitting down there at the B. Go to B plus, all right. It's a nearly A. Ruben Bot says, have a great show. The show's finished, Ruben Bot. What are you doing? Will you do the Star Trek movie themes? That was a nice tier list. I could do the Star Trek movie themes, actually. That could be cool. Because there's a lot. There's a lot. And I think Star Trek 6 is amazing. Yeah, the animated series is a bit too funkadelic. It's just a funkadelic version of the original series, so that's like a C. And Picard is a C+. We'll see as new versions and new variations come out. I'm sure they're gonna fix the logo. I'm sure they're gonna change things in the second season, and maybe they'll amp the theme up a bit, and maybe we'll get there. We'll get to be a B. I missed it, but did you rate season 1, 3, Deep Space Nine, or season 4, 7 version? Well, I blended them together. I kind of considered both versions of it because I don't like the. Is it season 4 to 7? Or was it season 6 that they changed it? Season 4? I don't like the bells one. The Christmassy version. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. But, you know, I take it into consideration. I take into consideration that the first version, in my opinion, is better for the Deep Space Nine one. It's just that the show is so much better than the title sequence. The title sequence doesn't fully represent what the show becomes. If the title sequence had grown and evolved as the show had, then yes, it would have been much better. You blended them like wine? I blended them like wine? Does one blend wine? I'm not a connoisseur. Does one blend wine? Original is the best. I think that generally speaking, all of the original themes are the best. Because they made Faith of the Heart worse. For those that don't like it, they made it worse. For those that love it, they didn't make it as good, I guess. In like the later seasons, I guess you could consider like the animated series a second version of the original one, so they didn't make that one as good either. Yeah. We'll do a better tiering on Starfleet Boy After Dark. Curse you, sir. That's unfair. He's gonna go off and do a tier list, a group tier list, without me, as he sleeps. How dare you? Oh wait, is Omitted saying original? Are you saying original is the best, as in like the original version of the Deep Space Nine theme, or are you saying the original series opening sequence? How did it get worse? What are we talking about? What? How did what get worse? What are we talking about? How? What are we talking about? Take into consideration, Mr. Starfleet Boy, that this is not just the music; it's everything. It's like, how does the theme? How does the opening sequence reflect? How does it represent the show? How do the visuals tie into what the show's about? How do the visuals tie into like the music? Original of Deep Space Nine. Oh yeah, okay. It's not just how about a tier list of opening sequences for Star Trek podcast. Look, I don't listen to enough, and I don't have one on mine. It's just hey. Welcome back to Trek Chat. That's my. Send me a screenshot of this, please. I can download it. I can save and download, and I can also I'll put a link in the description. Save and download. Star Trek title sequences. Save. What does that do? Wait, what does this do? I'm learning. Download image. So I've downloaded it. You should let Twitter scrutinize this ranking. I will. I'll send it. I'll send it to the Twitters. But template. See? I can hide template. Where's the... What am I doing? Delete template? No, cancel. View community rank. Oh no, wait. My account, make a template. Oh goodness, now I'm lost. My account. Anyway, there should be a thing. I'll try and figure it out later. Where I can... Oh, here we go. Star Trek title sequences. I've created the template, and I can send the template to the Twitters. And to you, and to everyone, so you guys can make your own tier lists and tell me that mine is wrong. I love the Mirror Universe title sequence for the opening of Inamura Darkland Enterprise. Yeah, well, I didn't take into consideration the Mirror Universe ones, because the Mirror Universe ones are variations. That I think the Enterprise one was really, really good. Boatrick has said that they... Why is my internet working? We'll figure it out later. Has said that the Enterprise one, the Discovery one, was a bit lazy. But anyway, okay. Where is it? The internet's not working anymore. As long as I'm still live. Where's the, I downloaded it somewhere. Boom. There it is. That's what it looks like at the end of the day. I'll send it to you guys. I'll find a way to share the link, and I'll let everyone do their own. And then we can add, as the new shows come out over the years, we can add things, you know? Alright. There we go. That's it. Smash the like button if you haven't done so. Share this video and this YouTube channel around so that people can know that I exist. It always helps. Use Subspace, exactly. Use Subspace. I will use Subspace to share this with you guys, and you will use Subspace to share this with other people. Please do consider becoming a patron and supporting this channel if you enjoy the content. I love you all. Thank you so much. I will be releasing my Star Trek Lower Decks Season 2 Episode 5 video sometime soon. Hopefully today, if I can get it done. There's a lot of Easter eggs to go through. And I will be live on Thursday over on the Starfleet Boy channel talking about Episode 6 when it comes out. Internet your signal. Boost your signal. Yeah. God damn it. Where's my signal boosting crew at? Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see everyone else's tier lists. As I said, I'll put a link in the description. I'll tweet out some links. I'll make sure everyone can make one of these themselves. I look forward to seeing your guys' lists, your guys' opinions. I feel like everyone's just going to put Faith of the Heart on F and Deep Space Nine on S. And that's it. But you're wrong, people. There's no right, there's no wrong. Let's not gatekeep the tier lists. Alright. Live long and prosper. Thank you guys so much for watching. You're all the best. And yeah, maybe we'll do more of these just me sitting here alone live streams like we used to do. Because these were fun. Alright, see you guys.